What is the Talmud? Hi, I'm Dr. James Holt. And one Jew has commented that the Torah is the law, the Talmud is the way. For example, if we imagine Moses on Mount Sinai being told, keep the Sabbath day holy, Moses asked the Lord, what does this mean? The Lord says, don't write it down, but these are the things that are permissible and impermissible. This can be seen to encapsulate the view of many Jews when it comes to a discussion of the law and the importance of texts within Judaism. A more common way to express the relationship between the two, the Torah and the Talmud, is to speak of the Torah as the written law and the Talmud as the oral law. In terms of Jewish practice, the Talmud has perhaps had and continues to have the most influence on the daily lives of Jews. It's been suggested that the Talmud became the basic and in many places almost the exclusive asset of Jewish tradition, the foundation of all Jewish thought and aspirations and the guide for the daily life of the Jew. Other components of national culture were made known only insofar as they were embedded in the Talmud. In almost every period and community until the modern age, the Talmud was the main object of study and education. All the external conditions and events of life seemed to be but passing incidents, and the only true permanent reality was that of the Talmud. The Talmud was a composition of Rabbinic Judaism. In the first centuries of the Common Era, following the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE, a great number of judgments and opinions passed by Jewish teachers built up. They were all to do with the way that the Jews were expected to behave. These important pieces of information were passed down by word of mouth and were later recorded in the Mishnah, meaning study by repetition. The first record of a written Mishnah is in the late 2nd to early 3rd century CE. They were collected together into one book, the Mishnah by Judah Hanasi. As this developed, it became a compilation of legal rulings based on biblical law, actual practice, and spiritual vision. Following the establishment of the Mishnah, the rulings began to be discussed, and soon there was more material taking the form of debate and discussion that developed in subsequent centuries, usually seen to be until the beginning of the 6th century CE. These writings are known as the Gemara, and the starting point of the Gemara discussions is the Mishnah. The end point is the decision as to what is accepted as law. There is a much broader range of material in the Gemara than the Mishnah, as it includes discussions, debates, midrash, stories about rabbis, and many more types of narrative material. These are then used to build rulings on various issues. The Mishnah and the Gemara were brought together to form the Talmud, the first version of which is found in the 5th century CE.